So what is the leadership structure over these different layers that you've illustrated for us? How are they overseen, pastors, elders?
Yeah. Top level, we have elders that oversee Trinity Grace as a network of churches, as a movement. And like I was saying earlier, they protect the theology of the church, cast vision for the church, rule, and like elders. Rule is a funny word. They rule the church with an iron scepter. No, but trusted men that have been appointed according to the pastoral epistles qualifications as elders, and then on a neighborhood level, you have the lead planting pastor and the core team. We're seeking, like in our church in Park Slope, we're seeking God to raise up elders that can be installed, particularly in the Park Slope church, to help lead and guide and protect in Park Slope. And then we have a neighborhood leadership team of about 25 people that I cast vision for. We go on retreats together. They lead in our life groups and on Sundays. Mm-hmm. And so that's the way it kind of breaks down.
Okay. You guys discovered that the parish model, works for you in New York City, and you have the different nuances that make it possible. Where might this not work as well?
The moon.
The moon.
Bottom of the sea.
North Pole, maybe? Okay.
Answer the question seriously, guys.
Okay, I'm trying. You started talking about space travel. I want to start to answer that question by first saying that we feel so incredibly blessed and blown away that we get to be a part of this, and that for right now in this season, it seems to be gaining some sense of traction. It is by God's grace working right now. And there's sort of a phrase around Trinity Grace right now where we say we know that what God has called us to is faithfulness. The results are up to Him. And it's just a good way of us telling ourselves and reminding ourselves that there's no actual markers of success. We really want to be we just want to be faithful. Okay, so that's sort of the disclaimer first of all, because it feels to me like to start talking about where things could and could not work feels. Mm-hmm. I get it. People want to be effective, and people want to learn from others. I want to be effective and learn, but it begins to feel like arrogant or something. I don't know. It just feels like it needed to be said. So to then answer the question, where would this maybe not work? I think we have to think missiologically about church planting. I'm not the first one to say that or believe that, or it's not a new idea, but so we have to go into a place and discern what are the needs, the complexities, the unique realities about a place and about the people that live there, and then decide what is the best delivery mechanism for the gospel in that place. So the complexity of New York tells us we have to have something sort of like this hybrid parish model, that there's actually not just one clean-cut thing, where in some city or town, a one clean-cut thing might work. So where it might not work is where another model might have a better sort of reality at delivering the gospel, mm-hmm. really. I think that's probably the simplest way to answer the question. Mm-hmm. Or we could create a top 50 list or top 10 list if you wanted to, if we have the time. I don't know if you...
One of the things, I just want to say this, one of the things that I love about the parish model in New York is that you don't get to choose who's in your parish, and you're in this place, and the people that begin to come, it's different than, I've lived in places that were more saturated with church options, and so if this church isn't what you want, you drive an extra 15-20 minutes to the church that does have the teaching or music or whatever that you wanted. And we have to admit, as the American church, that consumerism has hurt us in the mission of being who Jesus has called us to be. And not saying that doesn't happen in New York. You could take the train to another church, but especially when you're reaching people that are not believers already, if you can say, hey, this is 3 blocks from your house, why don't you come and check it out? And you don't get to choose who walks through that door. And then I love our community, like in Brooklyn, our community's willingness to receive whoever comes through the door, as a sense that God has given us this person, and they may have some aspect of reflecting God's character that our church needs to see in order to understand our great and wonderful, glorious God better than we do now. And so this person is an incredibly valuable person made in God's image, who we want to see come to grasp the gospel and be swept into the story the way we have. There's 70,000 people in my 15-block radius of a neighborhood. Like, there was less than that in the whole county where I grew up. And so would one parish church work in that county? I don't know, because there's 35 just Christian evangelical churches that believe this about the scriptures, and then there's another 35 that are mainline, more liberal. So there's church on every corner and certain sections of our. So would one neighborhood parish church work? Maybe, but it would certainly be much different, and it wouldn't have a lot of, like you said, the nuances that our parish model has here, which are born out of the realities of the city. So the short thing to say is, listen and obey God. Listen to his Spirit, and if he calls you to do something, be specifically obedient to what he's called you to, and do study models, and do see what's happening out there in church planting world beyond your context. But then get alone in your prayer closet and discard all of that. Say, God, what do you want me to do? And whatever you say, I'll do it. And lead me to the people that I need to be in relationship with that will help further the vision that you've called. And he always will, and he always has. And you can be the most learned strategist church planner in the world and fall flat on your face, because we do not live in a blank canvas world where you can just paint ideas and try things out. The enemy wants to kill you and kill your family and kill your vision and kill your dream. And unless God goes forward, and unless...
Is this rated R?
Yeah. Unless God builds the house, the laborers labor in vain. I think that's in the Bible even.
Easy.
It is in the Bible.
It is. It's jokes. Yeah.